Okay, welcome to another episode of the Joe Dunnrite Show. Today we're going to talk about pressure washers, and got this house at the property, and this house is about 60 years old. And over the years, we've just gotten a little bit of stuff going on the side. One time we had this rented, and the renters had these horrible green slimy plants growing up here. They never trimmed, and that turned this all green. So we decided we would get a pressure washer. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that if I buy a piece of equipment that I'm going to use day in and day out on a regular basis, like a chainsaw, I tend to buy the best quality I can afford. So for chainsaws, I like Stihl, things like that. But for these one-off projects where I'm probably going to pressure wash this maybe once a year, and maybe not even once a year, maybe once every 2 years. So what I chose to do was go to Harbor Freight, and I bought the Portland pressure washer. Regularly $100. I had the infamous 20% off coupon, so I got it for $80. And they claim it to be 1750 psi. I was actually headed there to buy the Bauer brand, which was 200, but they didn't have any, and I wasn't going to drive all over trying to find another Harbor Freight, because out here there's only one, and it's quite a drive. So anyway, I bought this Portland, and we hooked it up with a 5/8 inch 50-foot hose coming from the side, and you can see how nice it came out. It needs another once over. Got a little bird's nest up there, but that's what happens out here. But it came out really nice. This used to look like that. So what I'm going to do is show you real quick how it works, and then we're going to talk about the hose part of it. So we're all ready to go. It's a pretty good setup, actually. It's got a nice long hose that comes off the unit. It's got a really nice long extension cord. The directions say not to add an additional extension cord, but I've got probably 100-foot heavy gauge construction grade extension cord, and it seems to be working good. So let's take a peek and see how this does. So you can see it takes it right off. Now down here we have some green slimy stuff on the concrete block. And you can see it takes that off without any challenge. So I'd say this Portland pressure washer is a plus. For $80, if I get this house done, and if I get the big garage done over there, and it blows up, it's worth my $80. So, but now I want to talk about hoses. So for the 50-foot run, a 5/8 inch hose worked fine. If you don't have enough water pressure, or you're going for a long distance, what happens is the pressure washer cycles off and on, and that can't be good for the machine. So I went out and bought a 100-foot 3/4 inch construction grade hose. I got this over at Lowe's. It was remarkably cheap. It was $60, and it seems to work really, really well. So no cycling. The hose literally goes all the way around the house to the front, 100 feet, stretched out straight, but no issues. So if you're going to do 50 feet, you could probably get by with like this 5/8 inch right here, but 100 feet, you're going to need a bigger hose. Now the other option would be to build yourself a quick permanent type above ground hose using 1-inch PVC, and I think you could get away with just Schedule 200 light duty, because you're not going to be using it all the time. It's not going to be under pressure for long periods of time, but you could build a 1-inch PVC pipe with couplers 100 feet or whatever you need, and glue it together pretty cheap. And I considered doing that because it's going to be a long run. There is water service over towards the big garage, But anyway, it all works out good. Again, plus up for that Portland pressure washer for 80 bucks. Like I said, and you can see how nice of a job it did over here, up under here. This was just loaded with cobwebs and stuff. But anyway, for 80 bucks, if it craps out at the end of the project, I've well earned. The 80 bucks is no issues. I'm not going to be using this every day. I will tell you that when I was reading online, it says that when you're done, give it a little shot of the Sta-Bil pump protector. And I use this in my weed whacking equipment, not this particular Sta-Bil, but Sta-Bil products. But what they say is when you put it away for the winter, get the water out of it and squirt some of this in there. And then the other thing is don't store the unit outside in a garage with cold weather, so it could possibly freeze, because I guess that's a problem too. They'll freeze and crack. So take care of it. Put some Sta-Bil at the end of the season. Put it in your house, in maybe your mud room or whatever you have, or if you're in a warmer climate, no issues. But yep, definitely plus up on that. The contractor hose did great from Lowe's, and the pump is doing good too. So have a great day. Thanks for watching the Joe Dunnrite Show.